Hello, Harmony Heroes. Welcome back to the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. I'm your host, Gena Mayo. Today we're talking about something that might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but it's incredibly important. What actually happens when kids grow up without music education? Now, before we go any further, let me say this clearly. This is not about guilt. This is not about looking back and feeling like you've missed something. This is about awareness and opportunity from this moment forward. Because one of the most beautiful things about music is this: it's never too late to begin. And even small, simple steps can completely change your child's experience with music and honestly, their experience with learning as a whole. If you are a homeschooler looking for ways to easily and affordably include a quality music education in your homeschool, you've come to the right place. This is the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. I'm Gena Mayo, homeschooling mom of 8 and music teacher for over 30 years. Why does music education often get left out? Let's start with something very real. In the day-to-day rhythm of homeschool life, music is one of the first things to disappear. Not because we don't value it, but because math feels more urgent, or reading is more essential, or science and history take planning, and everything else already feels full. So music becomes a thing where we say, we'll add that later, or when things slow down, or when I have more time. But here's the truth. Most of us eventually realize things are not going to slow down, and later has a way of quietly disappearing. Music isn't an extra. It is foundational. One of the biggest mindset shifts we can make is this: don't see music as enrichment. Music is formation. It shapes how children listen, how they think, how they feel, how they connect. It works on parts of the brain and the heart that other subjects don't reach the same way. And when music is missing, it's not that kids don't learn songs or composers. There are deeper things they miss. Let's look at those deeper things now. Music teaches children how to truly listen. Not just hear, but listen. When a child listens to a piece of music, they begin to notice patterns, repetition, changes in dynamics, instrument sounds, emotional shifts. This kind of listening transfers into better reading comprehension, stronger attention spans, and improved communication skills. Without music, many kids stay in the habit of passive learning. They hear, but they don't analyze or notice or reflect in the same way. Number 2 is music education helps bring emotional awareness and expression. Music gives children a language for emotion before they have a vocabulary for it. Think about this. A child might not be able to explain why they feel overwhelmed, but when they hear a piece of music and say, "That sounds sad," or "This is exciting," or "This music makes me feel nervous," music helps them recognize emotions and process those emotions and express them safely. Without that outlet, some children struggle more to understand what they're feeling or how to communicate it. Music is also a natural outlet for creativity. It's one of the easiest ways to invite creativity into your homeschool. And remember, it doesn't require perfection. It invites exploration. Children can clap rhythms and sing freely and move to music, imagine stories behind what they hear. Without music, learning can become very structured and answer-based. Music adds open-ended thinking, imagination, personal interpretation. It balances the academic side of learning with creativity. Music is also a doorway into the world and helps provide cultural literacy and connection. Through music, children can experience different countries that they might not get to travel to, or historical time periods, traditions and celebrations from those around the world, and stories from other cultures. Music helps build cultural awareness in a way that feels natural and engaging. Without music, kids may learn history and geography, but they miss the emotional connection that music can bring. Music helps history feel alive. Music education also helps kids gain confidence through participation. Music creates opportunities for small, meaningful successes. Even something small you can do right in your very own homeschool, like practicing keeping a steady beat, recognizing a melody, singing along to a song, maybe performing for your family. These experiences build confidence, not in a pressured way, but in a joyful, low-stakes way. Without music, some children miss out on these accessible opportunities to feel capable and expressive. Music education also helps build discipline and habit formation. Music naturally builds habits, whether it's through daily listening or practicing an instrument, repeating rhythms, or recognizing patterns. Music teaches consistency in a gentle, enjoyable way. It reinforces the idea that small, repeated efforts lead to growth. That mindset carries into so many different areas of our life. There is most definitely a long-term impact. When children grow up without music education, they're not just missing skills that they could have gained in childhood. It affects how they engage with music as adults. Many adults will say things to me like, well, I really don't understand classical music, or I don't listen to music much, or I wish I had learned to play the piano, or I wish I could read music. There can be a sense of disconnect, not because they aren't capable, but just because they weren't given the opportunity to build familiarity. Music becomes something distant instead of something personal. But please remember what I said earlier. It's not too late. Even as an adult, and so many parents involved in my Music in Our Homeschool courses say that they're learning as much as their kids, and maybe they're enjoying it more than their kids because they are so excited to be learning these things themselves. So if you're anything like many other homeschool moms I talk to, you might be thinking, I didn't grow up with much music either. That's okay. You don't have to pass on that same experience to your kids, though. This is where you get to rewrite the story. You can create a home where music is heard regularly and enjoyed naturally and explored simply. The beautiful part is you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to teach everything. Just press play. Learn alongside your kids. Use simple guided resources like those found at Music in Our Homeschool. Keep it light and enjoyable. Your role is simply to open the door. So let's bring it down to something very practical. If you want to begin adding music to your homeschool today, here are some very easy starting points. Choose a composer, maybe even one per month, and listen a few times per week. Find some great music lessons over at musicineourhomeschool.com/freebies. Play the music during breakfast or lunchtime, or add a 15-minute music time to your schedule. I encourage you to do that during your morning time, but whenever it works for you. You could even watch a streaming musical or a concert from YouTube once a week. Try playing some simple rhythm games or clapping patterns. If you want to find links to a lot of the things I've mentioned today, head over to the accompanying blog post that you can find in the show notes or description for this episode. Let me encourage you, you don't need a complicated curriculum or long lessons or detailed knowledge, just consistency. Small steps equals big results. So as we're wrapping up today, let me flip the question. Instead of asking, what happens without music? Let's end with what happens when you do include music education in your homeschool. You will begin to see children who notice details more quickly, listen more attentively, engage more creatively, and connect emotionally to what they learn. Let music become a part of their daily rhythm, and it becomes normal, enjoyable, and something that they will carry with them. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. If this episode encouraged you, please share it with a friend who might be encouraged as well. Follow the podcast, and I'd love to hear from you too, so leave a comment. Take some time to listen to Music in Your Homeschool this week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.